What's up, y'all? My name is JR, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a huge movie and TV nerd. If you're new here, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel. I hope you'll consider sticking around and joining the film community I'm trying to build here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the FX neo-western Justified, and why I think the original show worked so well. And just so you guys know, this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't gotten around to watching this TV show yet, and you don't want to know anything that happens in it, you might want to exit this video now. And with that being said, no more wasting time, let's get into it. Justified is an American neo-western crime drama television series that premiered on March 16, 2010 on the FX network. Developed by Graham Yost, it's based on Elmore Leonard's stories about the character Raylan Givens, particularly Fire in the Hole. Timothy Olyphant portrays Raylan Givens, a tough deputy U.S. Marshal enforcing his own brand of justice. And the series revolves around the inhabitants and the culture in the Appalachian Mountains area of eastern Kentucky, specifically Harlan County, where many of the main characters grew up. It also features Lexington, Kentucky, where the local U.S. Marshal's office is situated. The series, comprising of 78 episodes, was aired over 6 seasons and concluded on April 14th of 2015. Justified received critical acclaim throughout most of its run and has been listed by several publications as one of the best shows of the 2010s. Its acting, directing, art direction, and writing were praised, as were the performances of Olyphant and Walton Goggins. Justified was nominated for 8 Primetime Emmy Awards with 2 wins for Margot Martindale's performance as Mags Bennett and Jeremy Davies' performance as Dickie Bennett. And, as we know, in January of 2022, FX announced Justified City Primeval, which was a limited sequel series with Olyphant reprising his role as Raylan Givens, and that show premiered on FX from July 18th, 2023, and it ended on August 29th of the same year. Now, at the time of the making of this video, this series has a nearly immaculate 97% on Rotten Tomatoes with an equally impressive audience score of 94%. It has a Metascore of 86 on Metacritic, and that's based on 92 critic reviews, with a user score of 8.9 based on over 1,600 user ratings. And finally, it has an 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb with almost 120,000 ratings. So, about 4 videos ago, I did a video on FX's The Americans, and I believe I mentioned that I thought it was the best show that FX ever made. Well, this show is number 2 on that list. I believe that this show is not only the second best television show FX ever produced, but due to some unusual drama over at the Paramount Network, I think Justified is the best neo-western ever made. Though it has some ebbs and flows at the beginning, once this show got going, it was absolutely fantastic. And I think there was one major reason why the show worked so well. Casting. Timothy Olyphant as Deputy U.S. Marshal Raylan Givens was one half of one of the absolute best performing tandems I've ever seen on TV. The other half, Walton Goggins as Boyd Crowder. Now, the entirety of Justified's 6 seasons includes 78 40-some-odd minute episodes and is based off of the 60-page novella Fire in the Hole by Leonard Elmore, and is basically the Justified pilot. Now, from that point on, the show depends almost entirely on the back-and-forth rivalry between frenemies Raylan Givens and Boyd Crowder. Now, both men play their respective characters with a charisma that's truly hard to find on television these days, and though there are certainly characters other than Boyd that Raylan Givens is forced to deal with over the course of the series, both characters seem to rely heavily on the other throughout the series as their exploits intersect repeatedly over the course of the show. Raylan and Boyd are just opposite enough to give their rivalry some teeth. Raylan seems to want very badly to stay out of Harlan, where he grew up, and he even fancies a life outside of Kentucky altogether, Miami to be exact, which is where he started the story before he got himself transferred back home after killing a gun thug on a rooftop restaurant on South Beach in Miami. And Boyd seems to be Harlan through and through, much more accepting of his humble beginnings and more than happy to call Kentucky home. But the thing that really makes this rivalry work is how similar these two characters are. They're both from the same holler in rural eastern Kentucky. They both dug coal together in a Kentucky mine when they were young men. They both love the same women, which at certain times really makes the rivalry stick. And even though Raylan vows to put Boyd away and throw away the key for his criminal ways, deep down I believe he respects Boyd. And I even think he realizes that had he never left Harlan, he could have easily ended up just like Boyd. Now, over the course of the show, Raylan shoots a lot of people, most of whom he kills. And the only thing that seems to make Raylan's behavior legal is the badge that he wears. Meanwhile, Boyd is made to pay for his fits of rage by way of imprisonment. We see Boyd in and out of jail throughout the course of the show. And after Boyd indeed ends up back in prison at the end of the series, after being betrayed by Ava, Raylan's ex, and Boyd's present girlfriend, after a joint caper gone wrong, Raylan, who has finally moved back to Miami, goes all the way back to Kentucky to see Boyd in jail, to tell him that Ava had died. Now, if you've seen the show, then you know this is a lie, and that Ava, having had Boyd's son without his knowledge, begs Raylan not to tell Boyd where she is or that she has his kid. And Boyd, when he asks Raylan why he came all the way from Miami to tell him the news in person, before Raylan has a chance to answer, Boyd says, "Because we dug coal together." And I have to say, I can't think of a better line to end the series than that. Now, Justified, in my opinion, is a rather earnest tale about culture and class, and the many ways in which the sins of the fathers are visited upon their sons. It's showdowns and shootouts in a world that seems to glorify both. It's family drama and friendly fire. Southern accents and good old-fashioned hillbilly charm. It's cowboy shit, Eastern Kentucky style, plain and simple. And every time Deputy U.S. Marshal Raylan Givens dons his infamous Stetson Marshall or draws on a would-be assailant on a rural road in a test of men, you can't help but feel every bit of it. But what do you guys think? Have you seen Justified yet? If you have, did you like it as much as people on Rotten Tomatoes seem to have? How do you think it compares to the other content FX has produced over the years? How do you think it compares to Justified City Primeval? Let me know in the comments. And for those of you who might be new to the channel, be sure to like and share this video. If you really like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. Also, be sure to go and check out themaskscreenwriter.com for more television and film reviews and info on my upcoming film projects. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got screenplays to write. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.